joined now by David Anderson. He's the CEO of Avidian Gold Corp, trading on the TSX Venture under the symbol AVG. David, welcome.
Nice to be here, James.
David, tell me about Avidian. What's it doing? Where is it doing it?
Avidian is a company that's been around for quite a few years, and we practice a philosophy of buy low and sell high, as in the gold market. So when nobody wants gold properties, we acquire them. And our criteria is we like district-style plays in elephant country. And once we have amassed a property position, we'll take them public. In this case, we're active in Nevada and Alaska. Nevada, it's in the Humboldt trend, which probably has produced Nevada itself over 200 million ounces over the years. And the Tintina trend up in Alaska, which is to date, I believe, in the 125 million ounce range. So we're definitely in elephant country, and our philosophy is it takes as much work to find a big deposit as it does a small deposit, so we're going to go for the elephants. The company is biggest project, or highest priority project, is a property called the Golden Zone up in Alaska. We have a resource of roughly 300,000 ounces on the project. We're in the process of exploring the peripheral area around that, and in the 2018 program highlighted some new areas in the immediate area of the Breccia Pipe deposit that we can see that resources will increase as we go forward. So we're very optimistic that we can increase the resource to 300,000 ounces. The property itself has a strike length of about 15 kilometers, and in the company right now, there are 5 target areas identified that we would consider having the ability to deliver a multi-million ounce deposit. Now, that's not the only targets, but those are the ones that we've highlighted. We've been working on the Golden Zone Breccia Pipe because of the resource, and realizing that we can add the greatest amount of value there for the lowest dollar amount in the short term. And we'll continue to focus on that area. But there's 3 other projects in Alaska, one called the Copper King, which is immediately south of the Golden Zone, the Breccia Pipe, and then one called the JJ, which is slightly west, about 5 kilometers to the west. So it's the resource that we have is on an existing mining lease, good to 2050. And we have started forward with the concept of doing some baseline studies to get things organized for when we do decide to go forward. Now, the 4th project that we have in Alaska is one called Amanita, and it adjoins the Fort Knox gold mine. So, and Fort Knox, as you know, is a prolific producer, I think 380,000 ounces a year.
Tell me about some of your more prolific drill intercepts that can give us a sense of grade.
Well, the 300,000 ounces is at a grade of about 2 grams at this point. We have intercepts that run quite high. Last year in the we drilled 149 meters of plus 3 gram material.
Oh wow!
Now that was down the axis of the pipe. I don't. I'd have to look up to give you the exact quote. But needless to say, it was great. But what we've learned is in the Breccia Pipe deposit, it was clipped off at the base of the deposit. It sits on the side of the hill, so the ability to extract the mineralization will be easy. It's very favorable from a mining perspective. But last year in 2018, we found what we believe is a faulted extension of it. And it was about 400 meters to the north of where the existing deposit is. And the gold there is actually hosted in a different environment, but we believe that the source of the two is one and the same and lies between the 2 of them there. The Copper King deposit, which is a porphyry-style deposit to the south, we probably won't do a lot in the short term because it is an expensive deposit to explore. But last year we drilled, I think, 9 meters of 8 grams of gold and 3% copper, along with 50 or 60 grams per ton silver.
What makes it expensive?
Just the size of the deposit. The footprint itself is probably in excess of 1.5 kilometers. And we've got gold and copper in the entire peripheral area of that.
In a porphyry setting.
Yeah, well, it's kind of some kind of a, I'm not sure it's these induced or the IRGS style intrusive systems and a porphyry max. So it's a little bit more complicated geology, but it appears like a porphyry in some aspects of it is right. So the reality is, if you compare that, it's something that we'd love to drill, but it takes a lot of money to drill. The market's not kind these days to junior explorers. So we turn around and look at a project like the JJ zone. And it's a deposit that is, not a deposit, but an occurrence that we discovered late last year that has about a 500-meter strike length, a 300-meter vertical that we can observe. We understand and can see that it goes quite a bit further deep. 150 meters wide, and it's a series of intrusives into sediments that's sitting at surface. The intrusives are mineralized up to 6 grams per we were running in the sampling we were doing. And the sediments between the intrusives appear to be mineralized as well. We were seeing anywhere up to upwards of a gram, but typically a half gram in the sediments, which means if you're taking out the intrusive, you're taking out the sediments, you're getting credits for mining the whole beast. Now that is sitting out in the open, easy to drill. And even if with those dimensions, if we were to get something on the order of a gram and a half universally across it, open pittable, you know, you'd be 1 million+ ounces. So if I was to decide where to drill, James, I would be more inclined to go to the JJ zone than the porphyry, where I know I'm going to have to dig into my pockets and work for a little while to unravel that.
Sure. Well, that's it's an intriguing opportunity by the sounds of it. Yeah. What's the market cap of the company right now?
The market cap of the company is probably on the order of about 8 million, 7 to 8 million. Really undervalued.
Yeah,
of course, everybody will say that as a CEO.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me that, you know, what is this, the 6th year? No, this is probably almost the 8th year of the real downturn in metals and markets and junior mining in particular. And, you know, it strikes me as odd that people are not collectively thinking, okay, well, this has got to turn around at some point. I mean, even in 2012, we thought this was going to last for a while, but it's got to turn around. And at these prices, I think that, you know, personally, I am buying juniors and loading up on positions with this, that, and the other thing, because one day it'll turn and be a different story.
100%. And to be, you know, I've been involved in the building and selling of 2 of these companies historically. And interesting enough, from the time they went public to the time they were sold, it takes about 6 years. You know, so QGX, we started and took it public in 2002, sold it in 2008. Antares Minerals, we started in 2004, sold it in 2010. You look at production on the major side, and you can see a couple of things that come into play, and this is why I'm figuring that timing is very good. Even if the market's not there yet, it is coming. Is the production is falling. The rate of discovery is falling off. We're not finding the 10, 15 million ounce deposits of area. It's getting harder. You know, the reserves are not being replaced. If you look into about 2022, that range, you're going to see supply-demand come into play in gold, where they're not going to be able to, you know, they're going to be short gold in the production side. And then you have, in general, a decreasing confidence in fiat currency. So I think we'll have a couple of things work in our favor. So my thinking is, if we took this company, Avidian, public in 2017, by about 2023, we should be well positioned. And yes, you know, I'm an optimist. I'm a gold bug. I'll give you that. Yeah. But I've been here before, done it before, and I'm very comfortable with the environment. So, you know, bullish.
Yeah, great. Okay, David, let's leave it there for now. We'll come back to you on the next drill program and see how you're making out. Thank you very much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you, James.